Okay, so if you see any verb which ends with er, you never pronounce it as er. Let's take a scenario. Whoever is watching this video, you and your friend, those who are learning French, let's say you went into the exam, you gave the exam, you were like, okay, you spoke very fluently. Oh, je doute que ce soit vrai. Ici, tu n'as pas raison. Écoute, mon ami. You said all that stuff. But because you just pronounced R as in tu n'as pas raison, examiner will be like, oh, no, you pronounced R wrong. I'm failing you. If you're not able to pronounce it properly, I'll also give you a trick. Okay, and the trick is pronounce it. Hello everyone, so welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about the pronunciation of R in French, which is R in English. What is the importance of French pronunciation R, and is it really important? How much it may or may not affect your score in your TEF Canada or TCF Canada exam if you're pronouncing R correctly or not correct. Okay, so let's talk about that. Well, let's even put French R aside right now. Let's talk about English. Okay, we have learned English. We guys, we all know English, and it's not possible for us to pronounce each and every word exactly the way it is supposed to be. Sure, most of the words, yes, we do pronounce them, but here and there, I am pretty sure that I might make some mistakes in pronunciation of one or two words here and there, or one or two syllables, or one or two alphabets here and there. The word is supposed to be leisure. Some people say layer. The word is supposed to be often. Some people say often. So these small mistakes, they always happen in English as well for any non-native English speaker. All right. So that is very important to understand, and that is very common. Okay. Now, if you go and give your IELTS exam, are they going to be like, okay, you pronounced often wrong, I'm going to fail you? No. What they will see is that if you have performed well in the overall vocabulary, in the overall pronunciation, in the overall grammar, and in the overall speaking, your flow was great, you sound very natural, you sounded very natural, and you sounded that you have not memorized things, you're doing well, you'll get a good score in IELTS or CELPEP. Same thing works in French as well. Now, pronunciation of R, I have seen that many times. I'll be very honest, I've seen that with my students as well. They join the Q&A sessions, and they always have this question, pronunciation of R. Like, I'm not able to pronounce the pronunciation. Like, I'm not able to pronounce R. It's very difficult. I'm not able to say that. It's air. I'm like, do not worry about it. Why? Because sure, it would be in the best world or in the perfect world, it would be great that if you're able to pronounce R right from the beginning. But first thing you have to understand is that this is something that will automatically build up over the time. So you wouldn't really have to focus too much on R if you're in the beginning of your French learning journey, at least at A1. Okay, sure, moving forwards, A2, B1, when you start doing more speaking practice, that's when your mind will start indulging more into speaking. For that, you'll need to have a little bit more pronunciation, more precise pronunciation. But once you're in A1, please do not worry about R at all. There are a lot more things to worry about the language. Okay, we don't have to add just one more thing, which is just so simple, for which the examiners won't even, like, even if you pronounce the R wrong, they won't even catch it. Okay, instead of saying parler, if you just say parler, it's not actually wrong. Okay, you are still pronouncing a good language. Like, your R pronunciation, it could be parler, but it was parler. So what? So the thing is, examiner, they won't just be catching out and looking out for all the R's that you're pronouncing. They'll be seeing your overall language. Okay, so that is why at the beginning stage, you should not even worry about pronunciation of R. When you move forward, now when you're doing your when you are completing your programs, when you're actually connecting with Frenchify community, or like if you're doing self-study as well, or if you're studying with anywhere else, the more you move forward in the language, the more you will see that you'll have to do more listening practice. Okay, and listening practice is something which will actually improve your pronunciation as well. You guys, please do not underestimate how much important it is to do listening practice in order to not only improve your R pronunciation, but also to improve your overall generic French pronunciation. Why? Because if you do not know how French language sounds, how this word sounds, how this word sounds, how this expression sounds, how can you speak with the proper pronunciation? When I was learning French, I always used to listen more. Why? Because I knew if I'm not able to listen, I won't be able to pronounce anything, let alone R. Okay, so my goal was always to listen more so that my mind can passively learn those pronunciation patterns. And only then after that, once I have a good comfortability in listening, then I will start speaking with a good with like, I won't even say good pronunciation, okay, with just like okay pronunciation. And then the more I do speaking practice afterwards, that's how I improve my pronunciation more later. Okay, and during that improvement in the pronunciation, your R will automatically be improved. There are a lot of students who were in A1 and they were not able to pronounce R properly, but then now they are in B1, some of them are in B2, and their R is perfect. They never even worried about R. Okay, and that's the thing I want to mention, ki this is something which is too small to worry about. Okay, you guys do not want to focus on the main thing. You guys do not want to focus on the grammar. You guys do not want to focus more on the reading and listening, how to properly do that. And you just want to focus on, okay, how do I get my R perfect? Oh, R is so difficult to learn, so that's why I'm not able to learn French. No, please put these things aside. Focus on the main cream of the language, which is going to be your grammatical conceptual understanding if you are in the beginning part of the language journey. And if you are somewhere in the intermediate part of your language learning journey, please make sure that you are doing more reading and listening. Okay, now sure, okay, now at the end, let's talk about what is the correct pronunciation of R. Okay, so we have talked all about, we have gone on the rant on the pronunciation of R, and we have not even talked about the correct pronunciation of R and how to practice it. Okay, so the correct pronunciation of R is R, R. Okay, but it's only when it's pronounced individually. All right, when R is pronounced in the beginning of words, for example, let's take the simple word which means king in English. King is ROI in French, which is roi. Okay, roi, roi. Now, please understand, I'm not saying roa. Okay, I'm also not saying hoa. I'm also not saying koa. Okay, it's not that koa that you get from the milk. Okay, it's roa, roa. Now, if you can pronounce it, please pronounce it after me 3 times. Roa, roa, roa. Now, if you can pronounce it, well and good. If you're not able to pronounce it, that's okay. Just try your best, but please make sure that it's okay. Like whatever you're able to pronounce, just pronounce it. That will be okay for now. Let's pick a second verb. A second word which is going to be a verb now. Okay, so this verb, regarder. Regarder. Okay, now you'll see that R is in the beginning as well, but R is also at the end. Now this is where I want to include one pronunciation rule which is called ending ER pronunciation pattern, where if you see R in the end of any ER ending verb, we never pronounce that R. Okay, so if you see any verb which ends with ER, you never pronounce it as er. Okay, it's not going to be regarder, it is going to be regarder. Okay, so ER at the end will always be pronounced as A, regarder. Okay, but what if the R is in the middle as well? See, please understand that the pronunciation won't change. Even if R is in the beginning or in the middle, it will still be pronounced as R. Okay, so regarder, regarder. Okay, but now let's also understand, what if R is at the end of the word, but it is not ER? Sure, in that case, R will have to be pronounced. Why? Because, I mean, R, technically it still gets pronounced, because there are 4 consonants in French which are usually pronounced at the end, which are C, R, F, L. So please make sure to know this as well. And R at the end, I'll take an example, l'aspirateur. Okay, l'aspirateur. Now, it is EUR at the end, so it will be pronounced as Okay, so R is still getting, like R is still getting pronounced as H. L'aspirateur. Okay, so this is how we pronounce R, which is R in French. But again, if you're not able to pronounce it properly, I'll also give you a trick. Okay, and the trick is pronounce it a little bit like H. Okay, H. You don't have to, like, now this is not complete H. Okay, but it's H. So it's like H. Okay, you can morph it into H as well. Regarder. Okay, but if you're not able to pronounce regarder, you can say regarder. Le roi. L'aspirateur. Okay, so you can still bring that H sound. It's not the best way. Okay, the best case scenario will be knowing the pronunciation of R, pronouncing H. Okay, but if you're not able to pronounce H, You can still keep on pronouncing R, and honestly, in the exam, it should be fine. Okay, not the best case scenario, but still you'll be fine. Like, the examiner won't fail you because you were not able to pronounce R. Okay, let's take a scenario. Whoever is watching this video, you and your friend, those who are learning French, let's say we take the scenario that your French pronunciation was very good. You went into the exam, you gave the exam, you were like, okay, you spoke very fluently. You probably were CLB8, CLB9, and you used really good expression. Oh, je doute que ce soit vrai. Ici, tu n'as pas raison. Écoute, mon ami. You said all that stuff. But because you just pronounced R as in tu n'as pas raison, examiner will be like, oh, no, you pronounced R wrong. I'm failing you. That's not the case. Please understand. This is so small of a thing to worry about. So as mentioned, don't worry too much about R. It will automatically happen over the time. And even if it doesn't happen over the time, still not a big issue. Okay, you'll still clear your exam. Keep on practicing. Focus on the big things. Do not focus on these small things. Focus on the big things, big concepts when you're learning the language. And do not listen to Instagram on YouTube or people those who say, oh, French R is very, very difficult and you cannot master it. You need to do a lot of practice to master it. That's not correct. I have seen a lot of students and a lot of people, those who are from either from Nigeria, those who are from Mexico, those who speak French. They have very harsh R accent, but still they have cleared the exam. Okay, so if they can do it, you can do it as well. All the best and keep learning French. If you want to learn French with Frenchify, you can connect. Links are in the description.